Give us a recap of yesterday, sir. Alright there, lad. Let's do it. So yesterday, in the Women's College World Series, we had two very boring games. Texas shut out Mississippi State. Yeah, Mississippi State, good job of making it here, but you were not ready for that. And you certainly were not dead last, as UCLA then put up 11 on Arkansas. It seems like at least one of the teams that played in the however many inning affair were definitely fucking gassed. So how about it? And then we have earlier today where we had another long inning affair between Texas Tech and Tennessee is the one that's able to move on with resounding boos from everyone because the ABC truck went out and then they didn't know how to operate a broadcast. Way to go, ESPN. Way to go. But then we head to the nightcap. Nightcap. It's still technically daylight outside. Where Nebraska and Alabama were supposed to clash. Where Nebraska was going to try and prove that the different leagues is just a myth. And what happened? No. They exuded as much energy as I did eating these peanut butter pretzels for dessert. That's the effort. They got one home run and then they just decided to go home. And that's it. That's how they lost. For some reason, we genius idea of starting Jordy after that 10-inning affair. Yeah, that was that failed miserably. So, yeah, just the hitting also fell asleep. Kuzak on the defense especially fell asleep. Pretty much, it wasn't just her. Pretty much everyone on the defense fell asleep, and that does go for Alabama too. They had multiple moments where the defense just decided to conk out, and it's kind of where we are with that. And just a lot of terrible swings. I get their pitchers like amazing or whatever, but it felt like that they just were going hella late, and I really felt like the pitcher wasn't. They didn't look like they could overpower us by that much. Don't get me wrong, they're a good pitcher, but I feel like they should just be showing up better. And it's clear that this team basically follows, the Jordy Fromm principle. And she's just not really been all there. And over these, past month or two, and while they've made it this far, it's not going to get it much farther, especially with, that. But how about we take a look at who the fuck we're going to be playing tomorrow? So, instead of playing UCLA, for whatever reason, the College World Series reverses the losers of the brackets, the 1-0 bracket. You get the idea. So now, Nebraska's next game will be up against Texas. Not against the UCLA we went 3-1 against, which I really wouldn't want to go up against them anyway. But Texas, the number 2 team in the nation, who were just ousted by Tennessee. And this is just making me question everything, I guess. But, yeah. That game is also going to be on ABC, by the way. So get ready to not watch it. This was the opportunity to show that you deserved the number 1 seed. You deserved to say that you are the best of the best. And that the NCAA committee was wrong. And you fell asleep so damn hard. Like, so damn hard. You hear that? That's death. That's death coming for this season. Going 1-2 in the College World Series, obviously, that's still a damn good achievement, but the fact that you win the first game in such fashion, and then to come out with, a full days of rest, looking like that you just got off the bus and that you were playing at like 8 in the morning or something after having to play a game at 1 o'clock in the morning. That's fucked. Alright, because now what are you going to have to do? Okay, so you have to beat Texas tomorrow at 2 o'clock, an early turnaround, while Texas had a full-ass day to recover. Okay. Alright. And then if you do win that, you have to win 2 games against Tennessee. You have to. You have to win 2 games. If you just won this game, if you decided to fucking show up, because Alabama was making a lot of mistakes on that whatever the outfield pop-up catching nonsense, you had multiple opportunities to take advantage of that, and yet you didn't. You could be instead waiting for either Texas Tech or UCLA. But no, instead you're having to play Texas, and if you even win that, you still have to play you have to win 2 games against Tennessee instead of having to win 1 against teams that you've already beaten this season. A golden opportunity, and you fucked it. Like, what are you doing? It's the same thing. It's the same sentiment I have with the baseball team. You have the talent and the prowess to win the Women's College World Series. Same thing that I have with the baseball team. They can do it. The baseball team's problem is that they have terrorists at pitching coach and hitting coach. Okay? Your terrorist was apparently the decision to start Jordy after a 10-inning affair. The most amount of innings she ever completed in one game. The most. Even in that 11-inning affair, we used 2 pitchers. So, what? What is it? Like, instead of having to win 1 game, you have to win 3. All you had to do was just show up against Alabama, and you would have won this game. I know that's weird saying that for a 5-1 game, but all you had to do was just show up. You just didn't. It's so fucking stupid. And you win 3 games. Okay, cool. Then you have 1 extra day. You have 1 day rest, and then you have to go win 2 of 3. And even bigger stakes finals against either Alabama, UCLA, or Texas Tech. Probably would be Alabama again. So, what with that? I just, you give yourself hope for, trying to do something. You just want them to, win games. You just want them to see them do well. But watching them lay an egg in the game that could absolutely demolish the different leagues principle that the SEC has put on the sport is fucking stupid. Because so what is left in this? Okay, so the 2 teams that are in the semifinals are SEC teams. The team on one bracket is a higher seeded SEC team versus a Big Ten team, and the other one is a Big Ten versus Big 12 team that are not necessarily on the same level as the other one. That was your chance. That was your chance at breaking the different leagues. To maybe make the committee rethink next year when you are actually good and, giving them one seed. I know they're fucking regretting giving UCLA the one seed with whatever their performance is. They have 30 comeback wins. I mean, I guess that's not surprising, but they just can't play small of those schools. But like, they finally gave way in the regard of, okay, maybe the SEC doesn't have to have the number one team for baseball. For softball, you're gonna have to do a lot more than going 1-2 in the College World Series. A lot more to get yourself into a better position next year. Because remember, while we may be going all in on this year, there is still, some players that will stay. Jensen is still going to be around, so that's a pitcher to lean on. Get another pitcher, and we suddenly have another, two pitcher combo. Once again, something that we did not have last year, because the other pitchers just weren't good enough. That's all you need. You just need to the thing is that if you play Jensen in this game goes to extras. Which I know. I know. That seems a bit far-fetched. But those 2 runs were unearned. And I feel like those wouldn't have been given up as much if, again, Jensen wasn't, if Jensen was out there first. Now, obviously, she played a lot more loose, so, not necessarily under too much pressure to perform, so she definitely performed much better. But there's still something to say in which, rest. You need to give some of your players rest, because now you have to start Jordy against Texas. I know you started Jensen last time, but you used Jensen for 5 innings today. Or no, 4 innings. But still, it doesn't matter. You used her more, so you're gonna have to throw out Jordy tomorrow against a team that is looking to make some fucking revenge. Because if you remember, they got dog walked in their game against Tennessee, and they felt like they could do something after they actually got 3 runs off of Pickens. And then they were just game ended at that point. But they want to get some good old-fashioned revenge against Tennessee. And they certainly looked, slightly more apart against Mississippi State. 4-0 might not be sexy, but it is a shutout, which, there are worse. Mississippi State has never scored a run in the Women's College World Series. So just like Texas Tech in football. Just please win tomorrow. I cannot stand losing the season series to Texas. Because if you remember, start the season, lost to Texas 15-10, and then we beat them the next game and the next day. All right, and that second game was that first game was off of, we played the previous one, and then Texas played a game beforehand. So, you could say that rest was involved in, both teams losing. This time it'll be Texas has a full, more than a day of rest, and we have about 16 hours. One game to prove it all. Go beat them. Go do better than whatever the baseball team is doing. Which, by the way, they haven't finished the game. It's just that, well, you heard it. You certainly heard it. All right. I guess catch y'all tomorrow. Either way, see ya.